And it's a little something like this. She says that when she was young, she accidentally saw the movie Jaws and was scared for her life. One day, her dad took her to Universal Studios when she went on a tram ride. When she found out that the shark from Jaws was going to be on the ride, she instantly added the tram to her list of fears. Today, she will discuss how she bravely overcame her fear of the tram ride. Please help me welcome Jessica. Persuasion is like a first date. Persuasion is like a first date. Or, I'm sorry, we did.
Back up.
Persuasion
It's like
is like
comedy.
Jaws. Okay, let's start this over. This is up. The title of her speech is The Tram. The Tram, Jessica. Jessica Power, The Tram.
Morning, fellow Toastmasters and LPS. When I was young, I had the unfortunate misfortune of seeing the movie Jaws. Afterwards, I developed a deep fear of great white sharks. But instead of tolerating that fear, I decided to overcome it. Which is why, when I was in elementary school, I started going to the library and trying to find out as many facts about sharks as I could to help overcome my fear. I figured if I could understand sharks a little bit more, then I would understand them and maybe not be as afraid of them. Unfortunately, that did not work. I found out some facts, for sure. The largest predatory shark is the great white, reaching a length of more than 20 feet and a weight of up to 7,000 pounds. It's the only shark that regularly attacks and eats warm-blooded animals such as seals and dolphins. And adults have broad, serrated teeth up to 3 inches long for slicing chunks out of large-bodied, thick-skinned prey. For some reason, this didn't help me overcome my fear. Then, when I was 8, my dad took me to Universal Studios, which at the time I didn't realize was associated with the movie Jaws. I was having a good time wandering around, looking at all the rides, eating cotton candy, and then a guy dressed like Woody the Woodpecker came up to me, rubbed my head really fast, and said, "Hey, how you doing, kiddo?" And I was thinking, not great after the whiplash you just gave me. I was taught that big birds give hugs, not head trauma. Then the tram ride came around, and my dad said, "Hey, let's get on this." So I was like, "Sure." When I was on the tram ride, the tour guide started talking and said, "Oh, we're going to see a whole bunch of great things today. We're going to see the site of the Truman Show. We're going to see Norman Bates' house, King Kong, and Jaws." Immediately, I started freaking out and telling my dad we needed to get off the ride. He said that it was moving and it couldn't stop, and I was seriously consider jumping. So then I proceeded to spend the entire ride like this, which is a standard safety position. My dad, of course, tried to get me out of that position. He said, hey look, it's Norman Bates' house." I said, "I don't care." He said, hey look, it's King Kong." I said, "Tell the monkey I said hi, I don't care." Even after we passed the Jaws portion of the ride, I still wouldn't look up because I was afraid he would still pop up at some other part of the ride, because that's what that shark does. So after my preposterous experience with the tram ride, at the age of 13, I decided maybe if I read the book, it'll help me overcome my fear of the movie, or if nothing else, at least inform me which parts to look away at. This did not help. Let me explain something to you. This movie is rated PG. This book is rated R. The book is more graphic than the movie. Let me just read something for you here. A few blocks away in a small cardboard house, a black man sat at the foot of his son's bed. "What story do you want to read?" he said. "I don't want to read a story. shark that ate people. That's not a very nice story. Why do sharks eat people? I guess they get hungry. I don't know. Do you bleed if a shark eats you? Yes, said the man. Come on, let's tell a story about another kind of animal. You'll have nightmares if we tell about a shark. No, I won't. If a shark tried to eat me, I'd punch him in the nose. No shark is going to try and eat you. Why not? If I go swimming, I bet one would. Don't sharks eat little kids? Now stop it. I don't want to hear any more about sharks. The man lifted a pile of books from the bedside table. Here, let's read about Peter Pan. Even the book says that I should be reading a different story. Then when I was 18, I finally decided, all right, I'm ready to see the movie with the aid of my friend Maggie, who will attempt to help me watch it. She had seen the movie before, so she was planning on telling me which parts to look away at. She missed a few. And at the end, I had seen about 60% of the movie, which was some progress. Then I came up with the brilliant idea of this. The best way to overcome my fear of the shark was to be the shark. In this game, you are playing firsthand the shark, which was a scary experience at first, but then I realized sharks go through a lot. The first level I had, I was put into a bay. In the bay, I was swimming around, and I came across a sunken submarine, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I started exploring, and there was some torpedoes there that I could move, but I didn't know what they were for. Suddenly, a boat came overhead, and a whole bunch of divers came down and started harpooning me with harpoon machine guns. I died several times. Then I finally figured out a way to get around them, but I didn't know what to do. I kept circling the bay, not knowing where to go. So I don't know how the shark figured it out. He must have been one of those deep blue sea sharks that was enlarged so they could have bigger brains, and that's how he figured this out, because I had to consult Google. I had to get instructions on the game to figure out that I was supposed to pick up a torpedo and take it over to a tower. There were 4 legs of the tower that I was supposed to throw the torpedo at to knock down the legs, while simultaneously being harpooned from above. After I took care of that tower, I found out there was another one. Then I had to do the same thing to that tower. Then I was lost again, and I didn't know what to do. I reconsulted Google and found out there was a grate I was supposed to headbutt. Then I was supposed to go through a ventilation system into a power generator, throw another torpedo at that, which would then lower a gate that I was supposed to go through. Then a Titanic-sized ship came out and started harpooning me. I'm pretty sure there were some rocket launchers involved. And I finally figured out I had to take some more torpedoes and blow up that boat. Sharks endure a lot. Finally, I decided after being the shark that I was ready to go on the tram ride again. After that, I actually found it funny to see the shark jumping out of the water. They changed it from the original shark that it had been at. And the way the shark came out of the water was like this. It was like rocks being skipped across the surface of the water. And I thought it was pretty funny, but everyone on the tram ride said, oh my gosh, it is so much scarier than it was last time. I thought it must have been pretty hilarious last time then. So now, I don't hold my fear of sharks against myself. I decided to embrace it and make fun of myself, just like a whole bunch of my friends do.